Okay, guys, welcome back to another vintage video. Today we're playing some SqueeVine again. DingusKhan got a top 8 in a challenge with this exact list, which is, pretty dope. Not something that happens very often, not something that happens every day. So we're going to look at it. It's got some nice little bits of technology in there. We've got 1 Poxwalkers, we've just got 2 Mind Break traps, and then we've got 2 Furies in the main. So the list I played the other week was maxed out on traps, I think, with no Poxwalker, and then I would have been -1 somewhere else. Maybe I was on 3 traps. I thought I had 2 Pyroks in the main, maybe a Chalice in the board. I can't remember, but the cool stuff is all in the board over here. 1 Ravenous trap, the full 4 Tormod's Crypts, which is really interesting because Tormod's Crypts so slow, actually, because it can get negated, it can get Force of Willed, it can get griefed, and it can also get Force of Vigored, right? It can also get Vigored out of Relevance against Dredge. So it's just quite interesting that would be the selection, because I do think we're going to try it, I personally think it's a bit too slow for the matchup, because it gets hit by all of their interaction. Especially on the draw in game 3, you kind of want your trap to be, your hate to be like proofed against something, right? So like the Ravenous Trap doesn't get Vigored, the Leyline of the Void doesn't get Forced or Griefed, that sort of thing. But this gets hit by everything. But maybe in the mid game you get better timing windows with it, and maybe that's enough to bring it into a 4 of. Caracas, 4 Osa Druids, but it's going to clear Lavinias. Cradle is great because it pumps our lizards here, turns them into actual factual clocks, and it pays for Tabernacle that Pentaveils. 2 more Furies and 2 more traps, so that's going to be like anti-combo, anti-creature. And then 2 snapbacks as well, which is dope, because that can remove a frog that's too big and just clear a path. But it can also be very good against mono white and that sort of thing. Maybe the Raker Shops decks, you can just get rid of stuff. Nah, it's a bit difficult, but we get the idea. Snapback's cool, Caracas is cool, Cradle's cool. Tormod's Crypt is different, 1 Poxwalkers in the main is different as well. So we're going to run it through a league, because it is the best deck in the format. It's our favourite deck, or my favourite deck at least. And if someone's top 18 challenges, we should take a look. I'll see you down there for round 1. Okay, then round 1 on the draw against Wally 1, and we have got a powder, so we'll get rid of these cards, don't need them. See you later. These ones as well, also unnecessary. Now we'll go to 6, and now we'll go to 5. That's a shame. What do we exile? We exiled a Poxwalker and then a trimming off the top of everything else. 3 lizards went, that's a bit upsetting. As long as well as 2 strips, right? So, but we've still got plenty. To 5 with us, and no Bazaar to 4. Just the way we want the league to start. So we'll keep this, and we will lead on no Fury, no Lurus over there, no Negation, no Lizard. Force of Will, you draw a card, cast a Hollow One. That's going to be roughly the plan. Scalding Tarn and pass. They went to 6. And if we can hit a blue card off this activation, that'd be pretty tasty. But we'll still activate, because we want to get this Hollow One into play. Do we want to get this Hollow One into play, or do we want to have 2 Bazaar of Baghdad's? I could just discard Hollow One, Fury, Lizard, couldn't I? Or I could come off of Force of Will for a turn and discard Master of Death, Fury, Basking, and then have Bazaar Force up. Or I could just discard the 3 on the right and just say Hollow One with Force of Will behind. I think I'm going to do that, Hollow One with Force of Will behind. I'm unsure if I'm going to protect this Hollow One. I haven't decided on that yet. I don't think I am. I'm hoping that this Scalding Tarn go no Lurus. I don't actually know what that means. Probably just Doomsday. But I'm hoping that means I don't have to face Wastelands. They get Basic Island, which is interesting. Let's cast a Consider then. Yeah, cool. So it's Doomsday that we're up against. So that's nice. It was not nice, because they're going to have... They're quite likely to, or quite possible to have a protected turn 2 kill. If they force of will this, it means they don't have a protected turn 2 kill. It means that they're slow. But it resolving, I think, is actually a negative for us. It means that they've got a game plan faster than 5 turns. So Mox Jet comes in. So does Floater Strand. And it's just a ship of the turn. So now we've got to consider other things though, right? Like well, now we don't. Like the things we have to consider there are what if they have Hull Breacher, right? It's unlikely, because I do think they are Doomsday. Everything they are doing stinks of Doomsday. But we're not going to activate because our hand's insane. This could just be another consider or a fetch for an Undercity. But if we drew nonsense there, we might have had to consider a Hull Breacher or the fact they're on a Tinker list or something like that. But they tell us the good news that they don't need a second Doomsday. Why, we don't know. Underground Sea, blue, and blue and black. This is just Sassa's Oracle with thingy behind. Dig through time. Can we let that resolve? I think we can. I think we can let dig resolve. Mainly because they haven't cast a spell already, right? That's gonna be that's what I'm gonna posit. This can mean they have Vampiric Tutor into a kill next turn. And I will go for an end step activation just to filter this Master of Death and give us another piece of material next turn. But I'll do that end step if they don't try to kill us. So what does Doomsday look like here? They pay 7, so they go down to 6, and I've got 5 on board. So I'm happy to empty my hand and flip for a lizard. Quite low odds to hit another lizard though, because we've used half of them already this game to powders. But obviously that's what we'd have to do. If they go Ritual Doomsday Pass. I think Ritual Doomsday Pass is just too aggressive though. I don't think they're allowed to do that. And this was always quite a good matchup for us. But I don't know if that's changed in recent years. So opponent does nothing. They could have an Ancestral here, but I'm still just going to flick this on the end step and unlikely to fight anything else this turn. There's the Ancestral, and is what I said true? I think so. I think I'm just going to flip this over and then try and come up with something better in a moment. So we're going to discard Master of Death, Blazing Rootwaller, Bazaar of Baghdad. So if they had gone Ritual Doomsday Pass, they would have died. Good job they didn't do it. They have to kill us in one turn, and they are going to have all the mana in the world to do that. Mindbreak Trap probably our best draw here, or Mental Misstep, one of those two. Squee, Goblin the Bob. Okay. In for 6. We're a bit slow here, I think. Opponent's got 7 cards. Maybe I was supposed to fight one of those card draw spells, because I've seen half their fucking deck at this point. But I kind of just wanted to wait and fight the stack when it comes. They can't wait one more turn, because I'm going to put them to 1, so it has to be this turn. That's a Dark Ritual, which we'll let go. And then a Demonic Tutor, which is also going to go. And now I can activate this and get onto double Mindbreak Trap. Is that good? It's the same as double Force, right? This is going to be a Doomsday, which I will probably fight. I think I have to fight. Do I want to fight their way into the pile? It could just be... The problem is that could just be... How many cards have they got? 5. It could just be Street Wraith, right? So I think I do have to go after the Doomsday. And the idea of them not having double protection here is kind of wild for us. They're going to have a Flusterstorm, I think, and then a pretty clean kill. Maybe I could have played this differently. Maybe I was supposed to fight their Ancestral on their end step. And that would have given me a clean activation. So let's think about that quickly. I fight Ancestral with Force pitching Mindbreak Trap. My activation resolves. I pitch my Master of Death and Squee, and then I untap. And in this turn, I would have another activation. After that, I would have another activation. So does that... They've got 2 cards left. They're going to go to 3, so they're going to have exactly enough life points. They might just have Gush or Street Wraith in hand, both work. And then they can just hit the Ancestral or Gush out the bin, make the land drop or the Sapphire and kill me. So I think in response to something, in response to the kill, I will activate my Bazaar of Baghdad, because that was the activation we didn't use. So I think there was a bit of card economy there that we'd lost out on if we fought this. But then fighting this would have pitched both of these cards, which meant we would have put this resistance here. That might have given us outs to drawing the other trap. Is that good though? Is that like, does that even work? I don't know if it does. Like it just sounds like we're dying to something else. So I'm not too fussed about it in terms of... I mean, I lost an activation. I haven't activated much this game, right? I've discarded 2 Bazaars, lost an activation there. But I think all of that is fine. So they exile 41 cards, going down to 3 life. Sapphire's there, so it's just a Gush into Lotus pile. Ancestral's there, yeah. So they're holding Gush or Street Wraith. Street Wraith into something. Floats a blue, casts a Gush. Casts a Lotus, 2 cards left in deck. And then I will activate this in response to the Thassa's Oracle. And I wouldn't have hit anything relevant, but obviously looking at the top of your deck when you lose doesn't really matter. I think I like how I played it. I think we're just dead. But, you know. So it goes. So we want the 2 traps and we want a cradle. Do I want 2 cradles? They're usually a Tabernacle list. I don't need these 2 Furies. I think this Poxwalker is going to be trimmable for most of the day, but it's interesting because it's another threat, right? The Vigors are somewhat close to mandatory. The Noxious Revivals are not great, but they are a very entertaining form of interaction. So I think I can trim a Red Lizard. I think maybe the Poxwalker, or maybe just another Red Lizard can go. Maybe I don't need 2 Cradles, maybe that's nonsense. So then what have I cut? 2 Furies, which makes sense, right? For these 2 Mindbreak traps. The Vigors have to stay because of their hate pieces are 4 Leyline, 1 Tabernacle Pendule Veil. And then we can play a Cradle for extra clock on the green lizards, or Tabernacle another layer of Tabernacle protection. I don't care too much about the snapback and stuff. Like, if they play a Shield Rid, then we can go to the second game. That's fine, the second round. The Chalice isn't fantastic, but it can make their piles, like, past the turn piles where they don't want it to be. It can make it slightly slower. They need a land drop to give in a lot of those instances. So we'll play first and we'll just mulligan, because there's no Bazaar of Baghdad. We'll powder this and we'll hide a trap. I think trap is better than Vigor. It means I can't accrue cards quite as well pitching the Vigor, because my masters are going to be killed by their leyline. But I do value being alive more. They don't have a leyline, which is fantastic news. We get this Bazaar activation off, then they are holding 7 cards though, so that usually means a quick death for us. Exact same start for us. And now we've got that classic case of, do we want to play this hollow one and get tabbed, or do we just want to cast? Do we want to hold it until next turn? I think we cast it still, because that might eat a piece of interaction. And if it doesn't, and they just play a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, then that's also fine by me. So opponent plays a Scolding Tarn for the turn. We're going to get to pick up another blue card. And get in for 5. And that's all quite phenomenal. So I will play Strip Mine out. There's an argument there not to, because then they'll fetch Undercity, but I think they'll fetch a land on end step and cast Consider or something. But now they can go to their next turn and get the mana. There is a cute play here where they fetch Undercity Sewers because they're holding Tabernacle. But this no fetch makes me think that they're not holding Tabernacle, right? And they don't have access to Tabernacle. Or they don't think they need Tabernacle. It's one of those two. But I think they just don't have access to it at the moment. Otherwise, you fetch there and get your Undercity because you want to nuke these. It can just mean they've got a nice quick clock. If we can get to this end step and get this activation with the 2 masters, that'll be fabulous. Opponent casts a Ponder, which is fine. I know I'm holding a Misstep. My Misstep's got bigger and better plans. If we just draw Strip Mines and blue cards for the rest of this game, that would be a delight. The Gaia's Cradle off the top can also turn this corner quite quickly, right? We go from 5 damage a turn to 7 damage a turn, and that is everything. So we get our end step activation off, which is a delight. So we're going to get these 2 masters on a loop. So if I deal you 5 damage now, you'll go to 8, and then I'll kill you next turn. Or I could have Noxious Revival as another piece of interaction. I think I want to get rid of Noxious. I think that's okay. Right, double Force of Will. Okay, so I now can't activate my Bazaar of Baghdad to play this hollow one, right? Force, Misstep, hollow one. So now I wish I had my Noxious back, but so it goes. I've got triple protection. I think with triple protection, I'm allowed to take a moment and relax in the face of Tab. And like with this land, I don't think I need to strip mine them. I think I can just have Tab protection open. If I knew I was top decking Force of Will, which obviously I don't, then I would have held that Noxious and discarded the hollow one. But I don't think I'm allowed to activate now. So Undercity finds something that they like. I'm going to leave it there. Again, we get another activation looking for Gaia's Cradle. We know we can discard the hollow one now, so let's just draw 2. This is the Demonic Tutor, which we'll let through. They played a land drop, yeah, turn 3. And I can fight the fight over like a Murktide or something later. All future wastelands will be snapped off immediately. But I think this game's gone into a position that we're happy with. And if they get through triple interaction, then congratulations, you know. It looks like they haven't found a way through there. We can top deck our Cradle to win. We do. So that's fantastic. Get rid of these guys. They could have Fatal Push, but I can misstep that, and I will take that fight on head first. Draw step is a negation, so just pump this guy and attack for 7. Ancestral Recall on self. Looking for Snuff Out. And if they gush over the top of this, then we can strip mine in response to gush, and that will take them off of Snuff Out. Snuff Out doesn't work though, because it pays 4, so I don't even know what they're looking for. Right. Everything went quite smoothly there. I was happy with all of that. This chalice could be a snapback, maybe. I think I'm pleased with our deck at the moment. One of the things, though, with this deck on the draw is that you can always feel like a turn behind. Here, though, we do have Trap, Vigor, Strip. Well, we've got the world, is what we've got. That's what I'm saying. We've got the world. Opponent's got the Leyline of the Void and the Leyline of the Void. I will Vigor those. And if they have Force of Will, then they're on 3 cards, right? And then I'm going to strip mine them and play a Hollow one. It's pretty tasty. Like, in general, this exchange with a Hollow one in hand is very nice for us. They do force back and they pitch a Time Walk. Okay. That's fine, I think. I think that's great for us. You play a land. Oh, you play a Black Lotus. Okay. And then you snap off into my Mindbreak Trap. With 1 card in hand. No lands. Okay. So we just get to play Bazaar of Baghdad. Maybe I can just invest in Wasteland here. The only way I lose this game is if Tabernacle is the 1 card remaining in their hand. That was a fucked up hand though, right? Force of Will, Time Walk, Ancestral, Lotus, double Leyline. So Squee can go, Noxious can go. So Master of Death or Strip Mine. I think Master of Death can go and we'll draw another blue card. Cast a Hollow one. So that's in. And opponent concedes the match. Fucked up opener by them, fucked up opener by us, right? Mindbreak, Vigor, Hollow one, Strip. Bazaar is insane. And it lined up perfectly. So we win round 1. And I'll see you for round 2. Okay, round 2. We're up against Abaddon or Forbadden. I don't know. I played them before though. I recognise the username. I think I got just as confused then as I did now. They reveal a Lurus. We mulligan to 6. Now we powder. Hiding something. Powder, hiding Wasteland, I think I like. Now I've got Bazaar. I'm on the play, so I've got a nice look for this Vengevine as well. Two Masters and a Squee, so I might actually just hold the Vengevine. Roll out the Hollow one. We don't know what flavour of Lurus they're on. They're on like a PO list, and this Vigor can just nuke them. They pitched a stock up, so that seems likely. Them pitching stock up is quite hopeful for us because it really reduces the amount of wastelands they have in their deck. Like, that's a hard thing to combine, right? It's 3 mana sorceries and lands that kill themselves. So, okay, no, just get fucked me, I guess. So that's cool. That's cool. That was good. And it's back to us, and I've got this useless Vigor. I do get some cards back to my hand, though. And I've got Fury as well. Okay. We'll pass the turn. It's nicer to have cards in hand than Wastelands in play, you know? Pluto Delta. Passes. It looks like they're just a control deck that plays stock up, which is a shame. It makes our life a lot harder. There's an interesting thing here where if I discard my Squee and come off Fury, then they can play a Soul Guide Lantern, eat my Squee, and we can be sad. But if I play Master of Death, I'm just losing life points every turn. Or they can play a card for us. Or I could just discard Vengevine and hold all my Masters. But that takes me off Vigor, so I don't want to do that. I don't know if they've got many Vigorable targets in their deck. They get rid of Urza's Saga, which is interesting. We'll discard Squee. Fury is my best card, but this is just like the most concealing information we can do. And then they just play a Psychic Frog and the game ends. Many such cases. Okay. So we need to top that Bazaar of Baghdad now, and I'm not really in the mood to try and grind through this Frog with no Bazaar at the moment. That doesn't sound like a winning proposition. So if this isn't a Bazaar or a Noxious, I'll probably just pack them up. It is a Noxious. So I think I'll just Noxious the Bazaar of Baghdad here and now before they get to untap and have Spell Pierce open. This does run into negation. They've just got Force of Will pitching Psychic Frog. Okay. Oh, but now their Frog's dead. So now we can Wasteland them. But we can play around Days as well. So Fury in. Kills the Frog. What a great draw that was. Eats 2 of their cards, kills their Frog, Wastelands their Underground Sea. The Saga's in the bin, so we can be really liberal with our Wastelands. Frog's dead, 2 mana. 1 mana, 2 cards on the other side of the table. No mana, 5 cards on our side of the table. And they do nothing. I'd like to draw a Wasteland, please. That's close. But let's go upkeep this time to turn off the negations because we're not in a rush. And obviously I did see the combination between Force of Will, my Noxious, and then Fury. I obviously lined that all up. I was really in tune with it at that moment. So great play by me, really. Opponent pays a black, casts a Death Shadow. That's funny. That just dies though, right? Someone help me out here. Yeah, that's in the graveyard. Okay. I draw a Bazaar of Baghdad. Also, lining up a Treasure Cruise. Cool. We'll discard Double Master and a Vengevine. Because I don't think this Vigor matters. Pluto Delta. They already had Treasure Cruise open last turn. So maybe this is Treasure Cruise plus something else. And now they're holding Orcish Bowmasters, which is also annoying. Say yes. Say yes. Get a Strip Mine. Strip Mine your Underground Sea. Pass to combat, get the Bowmaster onto the stack. So now we can activate in response. Find a Force of Will and a Poxwalker. So we'll discard Force of Vigor, Master of Death, Poxwalker. And now we'll Force of Will, pitching Master of Death. And do they have Force back? No, they don't. Cool. So we have got Negation, Misstep, but their good spells can't be negated. That's a lovely draw. And I can activate this Bazaar, discarding some cards. Motherfucker. I'm going to discard a Hollow One. All your lands are dead. I cast a Hollow One. And they concede the game. Okay, so that was sick. Got very fortunate. I was about to concede the game. Top decked exactly Noxious, which turned on our Fury, which I didn't notice when we top decked the Noxious, if I'm honest with you. That killed the frog and unlocked the rest of the game. That was sick. I think I do want the Cradles. I think I am interested in these snapbacks. The Mindbreak Traps I don't think are good. The Chalices of Voids are bad. The Vigors are questionable, but they may have like a needle, so I want to keep a few in. So maybe I can just bring a Fury back as well. Something along these lines. Mindbreak Traps are suspicious. Like, we can have a big stack and the trap just blows up the whole game. But then also, the card's just never online. So, that was an enjoyable game, though. Even if I didn't notice the setup to winning, I found the line to win without realizing. We did top deck a number of perfects throughout that game, though. That can't be understated or forgotten. We've got here a very nice opening hand, so we'll keep this. But we do need those major swingy luck moments to beat the Lurrus control decks. They are so bad for us. This is a Watery Grave, which is essentially devoid of water, into a Mox Pearl. And Mox Pearl makes a Dark Confidence. That's cute. Cool. I'm going to play and activate Bazaar of Baghdad. And I'm going to discard Vengevine Lizard. I'm very tempted not to cast this Hollow One. And I have to push into it, don't I? Yeah, no, I have to because of Wasteland. I don't have a way around a Wasteland in the future. So in for 4. Like, the reason to not play Hollow One is to play around Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, but there's so many more Wastelands that exist. Opponent reveals a Flusterstorm. They play a Wasteland. My Bazaar dies. I probably just want to resolve Cradle here. Well, I really do want to waste them. What's the likelihood that they have a Tabernacle in their deck, you know? I'm going to play my Cradle. I'm going to attack with everyone. Blue mana, Ancestral Recall. How much damage is this? 4, 11, 12. Let's bounce it. Put them to 1. Unless they plow me. I don't think they're plowing. And they concede the game. Nice. Okay, we win a match against the Lurrus control deck. Obviously, they're a bit of a spicy one. Alright, stock ups and Death Shadows. But, still nice to beat it. I'll see you for round 3. Okay, round 3 against Hom, who's revealed a Lurus of their own. We're going to keep this hand with Bizarre, Master, and a bunch of other cards. Looks good to me. I don't know why this figure's bright and everything else is dark, but hey ho. Opponent's gone to 6 and they keep their 6. They love it. They can't get enough of their 6. That's a Flooded Strand. Hopefully nothing else. Yeah, no, nothing else. Perfect. So we get to at least play and activate here. And we find a lizard on the way through. So let's play, activate, and hope. We need Noxious or second Bizarre, I think, when we're facing down Flooded Strand. We hit 2 lizards. I will consider my option, and my option is just to discard this powder, right? We can't be out there discarding masters like that when we've got blue, blue, blue. We're once again hoping that they're on a PO build, which I still don't think is actually a fantastic matchup for us these days. I think they're far too resilient with far too many haymakers, like stock up PO Thunder Trap. Because Thunder Trap just stonewalls us, right? Look at these guys, they can't do anything through a Thunder Trap trainer. So I think that's all pretty, the POs are pretty tough. The Chalice just resolving means it's likely control though, and we're just going to get wasted. Like, no fight over the Chalice is interesting. And they just pack it up and pack it in. So maybe it is PO. And we can look towards these Mind Break traps. As something to go over the top with. I think I'm still interested in having some Furies in my deck though. So I think I'm actually going to trim a Poxwalker and trim a Red Lizard. Does that make sense? Or can I just trim 1 Fury? I think I'm gonna go for 1 Red Lizard and just hedge, because these Furies do clear Thunder Trap Trainer, right? And that's going to be an issue for us in the slightly more controlling, I've got a 1-1 or 3-1-1 games, where we're doing 3 a turn and just controlling the game. The Furies actually have text against the Thunder Trap, which is not something we want to be out there force of willing, so we don't be getting 2-for-1s in that respect, when they've got stock ups and POs, which are much greater and much more impactful card advantage and selection for them. So I think I like the Furies in that context. This hand's cool. Play a hollow one, you've got no lands. See if we can come up with something else. Tundra, Mox Jet. Bear in mind they could also still just be control, right? So they could just play a Psychic Frog here and that'd be an issue. Thunder Trap Trainer, no. So we did kind of guess right. Thunder Trap finds what? Thunder Trap finds a card, I'm sure. A Mox Emerald. Okay. So if I draw a green card, our line's going to be... Oh, no, they're just going to hold the Emerald. I wonder why they're so excited to hold cards. Are they a Brain Freeze kill? What happens if I just Wasteland them? I think I like it. Just Wasteland you. I've got no nice discards. I like all my cards. So I think I'm going to just try and use Wastelands to slow this game down until we draw some cards with some discard equity. Or a green card to really Stone Rain them into the Stone Age sort of thing. I'm not fighting this Mox Emerald, obviously. We'll happily negate a stock up here and then Wasteland them. But that doesn't come to fruition. So what can they have for instant speed here? Just purchase Lurus? No, none of it. Just Ancestral Recall then. It's a Squee, so that does give us some discard outs. I'm not against discarding this hollow one if I find what I need. Squee. Maybe it's just Wasteland then. Squee Wasteland. Or Squee hollow one. I actually quite like Squee Hollow One as a discard package here. Keep the waste, because I think that's how I maintain control over this game. The Squees are going to plow us through cards going forwards. Five cards over there. And this could be PO for 3 to get the ball rolling. Doesn't look like it 'cause they're attacking. And now they fetch. Okay. So they fetch up a volcanic island. They play a hexing squelcher, which I am not enamored by. So that's another reason to have those furies in my deck then, isn't it? And now we've got the ball rolling in terms of discard. I'd love to see one of those furies pop off the top of the deck in a second. That would be really nice. There it is. Do I want to come off Vigor? How do I want to play? They've got 4 cards. I kind of need to keep... I don't want to go down a wasteland, that's the thing. So Squee, and 1. So like Squee, negation. And I've got Force of Will, Mindbreak Trap open. I think that's good. Negation. And then we cast a Fury to clean up here. And they don't know they're about to get wasted. So the Furies are in. I'll take the 4, I don't care. Yield to everything, right? Yes. Yes. They're dead. Your Volcanic's dead. And now I'm holding Force, Trap, Wasteland, Vigor. There's a Saga, and I've got that rolled up. They can buy Lurrus here because we know that they can't do anything with their mana. Oh, they don't have Lurrus now. Oh, so they bought in Ley Lines. Okay, sorry, I'm so stupid. Right, never mind. Let's just draw a green card and end the game. That's not a green card. Let's activate Bazaar of Baghdad. That's not a green card. But we can still wasteland this Saga and present a trap. Did I take out green cards? Nope. Anyway, good night. I've got a 1/1. And at some point they have to miss a land drop, right? They bought in Ley Lines in their PO deck. They had Lurrus game 1, right? I'm not mental. Right, never mind. I'm not losing the plot. We win. We discarded that hollow one early to maximize this Force of Vigor and just never drew a green card in 24 cards. But hey ho, so it goes. We still managed to find a nice avenue through. The Squelcher gave us a bit of concern, but we top decked the Fury, which we talked about and we did keep in to deal with the Thunder Traps against our Lizards, but actually their post-board plan is exposed to a card that I think I had to begrudgingly keep in. So they kind of like sideboarded into something that I'm not excited to have in my deck, making that card better. So that was quite a nice sort of dynamic there. Let's go to the next round then. Okay then, round 4 is a rematch versus Hom, who does have a Lurrus. I wasn't losing the plot. So we know they've got ley lines in the board. We'll powder this hand, there's nothing there. We'll mulligan this one to less cards. This one's to 5, there we go, that's what I was going to say. And now we're going to 4, that's pretty brutal. Now to 3. Justice served. Mulligan to 2, no thank you. So what do? Do we keep Vengevine Hollow 1? Do we keep Forcible Master of Death? Do we keep Vigor Vengevine? I think we just keep Hollow 1 Vengevine and to try and turn that corner. So send these beauties to the bottom. This has been a great 7. But alas, we are where we are. And we're going to go for clock rather than any sort of disruption. An opponent is paying costs, so it looks like they're going to know that information off of this Git probe anyway. There we go. So they know what we're working with. They know the coast is clear. There's no trap. There's no force. There's no vigor. Nothing happening over here. I've got 7 or 8 lizards to strike them with. They play an Urza's Saga, which says I've got a Moxen in my hand, which they should deploy now. There it is, Mox Jet. They may have more, but they've definitely got 1 followed by another land, right? A Black Lotus as well. Okie dokie, buddy. 3 blue. Stock up as well. Pretty gross. Pretty gross. So, I think we can kind of write off this game. We mulligan to 3. You know, if I'd kept a vigor, then maybe we've got something funny to happen here, but then they probed us, so they kind of know that they can't make this play with Saga Mox Jet. So, on 7, I think we have on that 7 we have the resources to fight back, but here it looks like we're just gonna get rolled and die, which is, you know, perfectly fine on your mulls to 3. If I draw a wasteland for the turn, then I'll absolutely snap that off. That's a mana crypt though, so it looks like we could just be dying quite quickly. Stock up into mana crypt into 2 cards, which could just be PO for 2. That wouldn't be the most embarrassing thing in the world. Thunder Trap Trainer picks up a card, and this looks like another Thunder Trap or a walk. They pick up a PO, and then they walk. Okay, fine. We'll let them show us the blue source, and then we'll just go to the next game. I don't need to hang around too long, I don't think, against a PO for 3 with Thunder Trap. They take the damage though, and they can just go Island PO for 3 and still have Saga untapped, or they can move to combat. Well, they did this last game, didn't they? They moved to combat in a few spots that I didn't think were great if you're holding a PO. Like you can go over the top of me. This is not a nickel and dime game here. There's the Tundra. Maybe they're going for instant speed PO. No, also no. It's just POs for 3. Up to 8 cards. No guarantee that they can deploy the Thunder Trap again. They will deploy the Mana Crypt because that turns on the Saga. Then the Mox Jet we know about. They might just call it a day there. No, they're doing something. Oh, they're making a token now? But why? Okay, they did that. We activate. We come up with Vengevine, Blazing Master. So we do get some creatures into play. They're going to be small, and we're going to be under a Vexing Bauble. So not exactly the dream. They force the Hollow One, which is fine. I don't think they need to. They're going to have 2 5/5s in play next turn, and we're going to die. So it seems unnecessary to be out there doing that. Like, the way the rest of this game plays out, I don't think the Hollow One makes any difference. They are going to force it though. They did have that thought as well. They do it. Getting rid of a Flusterstorm as well. So I get this guy into play, and I can just send. And then the problem with the Hollow One then pops up, right, is that if you trade with this and you only have a 4/4 guaranteed, I don't know what the hand is, but and that trades with future creatures, but they do have the Saga, which can get the Bauble. So I don't know. We're very dead. But then if they just take this damage and then just get like obliterated by Mana Crypt, they do take this damage. I've got a Master of Death. Their Saga's going to make a token. They'll be 4/4s, then they'll get the Bauble, they'll be 5/5s. got one card in hand, nothing for them to be afraid of, apart from maybe Mental Misstep, but that doesn't work once they've collected the bauble. Not sure about the sorcery speed token though. That was suspicious to me. They obviously don't have anything else to do, but just timing wise, if I was holding, which I don't know, I couldn't have been holding a Vigor, they knew my hand. So maybe it's fine. Maybe it just does not matter at all. It looks like they're floating the mana and getting a mana vault, so it looks like they've got killing to do, and they don't care about the size of this. They don't care about the second token. They go to 6. They get a volcanic island. Playing some red mana. This is just a 4th for a bunch. Seven, 14, 18. I go to 1. I can't pick up my master. I attack for 5. And see if you can dodge crit flips and mana vaults. $14, 18. Any Mox kills me. Or any Mox forces a trump block. Are they just sending everything but 1? That would also work. Yeah, okay, that works. Okay. Sure, I'm dead. That's fine. That's fine. So what did we do last time? Did we bring in Snap back? No, we bought in Mind Break Trap, right? Mind Break Trap, Guy's Cradle. In exchange for green guy, or red guy, Noxious, Pox, something like that. Maybe I didn't bring in the Cradle last time. I just bought in the 2 Mind Breaks and kept the Noxious for green count. So, the opponent does come off Lurus post board, which is really weird. Like when your game plan is to pick up and put down a bunch of cards, isn't Soul Guide just better? We will mulligan. My opponent does have Lurus this time. Sorry, I didn't wait long enough. And now we'll mulligan to 5 and powder away, hiding Vigor and Force. And now we'll powder. And now we'll mulligan to 4. And now we'll mulligan to 3 again. And we'll keep the Bazaar hand, keep this, and get rid of this guy, this guy, this guy. And the Vigor. And I'll hold Trap, play Bazaar, and try and work this Squee for a while without falling too far behind. But 2 mulligans to 3, what are you going to do? Maybe I could keep Vigor there to try and Stone Rain them and accrue cards later. But I quite like the idea of Mind Break Trap to get through their Squexing Helcher. And if they've got Git Probe again, then that'll suck. That's a Mox Ruby, which we won't fight over. Mainly because I can't. Scalding Tarn. Soul Guide Lantern is fine. And then they pass the turn. So we will just activate the Bazaar anyway. Maybe I wanted to do a sorcery speed in case I hit a hollow one. But who knows. Bottom ult to 3, do I want hollow ones over Mind Breaks? Maybe I do. So we'll cast the Lizard. They may pop this Soul Guide. If not, I'll pick up my Squee. And this is my way into the game, right? This is how I'm planning on getting into the game. So the Soul Guide pop is really powerful here, but they don't do it. I will just Chalice on 0. This may eat a Force of Will, and that's absolutely fine. That's in. I am I still happy sitting on Mindbreak Trap? I think so. So let's attack for 1. But I can still activate, right? That's still allowed. I can still hold Mindbreak Trap and come off these 2 Noxious and leave the Squee at home. Leave the Squee in the bin, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter because the future Soul Guides, right? They're like 3 Soul Guides, so maybe that was a punt. Maybe it's supposed to be activated end step still. Pretend like I've got something. Yeah, because now I don't even have Force of Will in my hand, right? And that's known, so now they can just really do what they want. See, that was a massive mistake, that Bazaar activation. I didn't bring in a Cradle, did I? No, so I can't ever get this guy to attack through Thunder Traps. Tolarian Academy is powerful. This is Flame of Anorn? No. 4th for 2. Okay. I'm only sending 1 Knight in. So very conservative play, but it's gonna work. It's gonna be great. They've now got card advantage. They can nuke my card advantage with Squee if they want to. And they do. That's good. I agreed with that last turn. And this doesn't look like a Mindbreak Trap game, so I'm going to come off of it and find something else. Like this, Fury. Could have also kept Bazaar and just flown cards through. But we know that they're not doing much at the moment with the Chalice in play. Flame of Anorn will fuck us up. That will kill us. And then they stock up. So how do we get through this? It is just pick up that, just have that Bazaar back and just throw cards until we hit Vengevines, right? I think this one's lost. I think that's just too many problems for us to overcome. And they can just sit on this monarchy forever and play in as a saga, sure. My wastelands are overtaxed. Their Tolarian Academy's too good, their Saga's too good, their Vexing Ball's too good, their 2/2s are too good. I think we've just been completely hamstrung here. And I think, well, we'll just play Bazaar and activate a billion times. Vengevine. Vengevine Master. You'll go. No, I can't get through any of this, right? It's fine. Let's just go to a new game and have fun. Okay then, 5th round. We're on the play against Borowitz 50. We've got a Bazaar and some controlling elements. I don't really like the idea of activating off this hand. Does that mean I don't want to play my Bazaar out? Not really. They don't have a Lurus. But they will give us an idea of what they're doing. If they're Dredge, then I will Force of Will Griefs. And not Dredge. Simian Spirit Guide. Trinosphere, that's not allowed to resolve. Come on now. I think I want to exile the Mindbreak Trap. Got 5 cards left. Maze of the Moon's going to be an issue. I think I actually just want to take a card. I don't think I like activating here. Because I want decisions to make. I still don't like activating because Wasteland was a really good draw. We'll see what they do and see if we have to activate into this Force of Will. City of Traitors. Which can get stripped. That's absolutely fine by me. Mono Red Prison is tough. Another Spirit Guide. And Maze of the Moon. So we will activate the Bazaar here. And if I top this, And I go up to 5, down to 0. Not nice, but we'll do it anyway. Opponent's got 3 cards left in hand. We'll go for an upkeep flip here. Another Bazaar of Baghdad, not the dream. Wasteland? No, Lizard. We need to dodge this turn. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind very quickly, and we do dodge the turn. Wasteland? No, Force Negation. Okay, well, we'll activate because we've got decisions to make, and we get some threats into play. So that's cool. Cast this guy. Cast this guy. And we will protect this red lizard with our life, okay? Because if we get Magus, then it's a 3-1. So we're happy to punt green lizard into 2/2s. We're not happy to punt red lizard into 2/2s. I'm not sure what else they're going to be able to do. I have no idea what red prison looks like in this format. I think if they are budget, I don't know. We'll find out. If they are budget, it's just better to be mono black, though. That's the thing, right? Mono black just has such a good Bazaar and anti-combo matchup. So Chrome Mox is in. That will exile a card. Something, I've got no idea what that is. A Legion War Boss, oh yeah. And they play a Goblin Rabble Master, which is also just not particularly that good. So we'll block here. We'll flip the Bazaar upkeep. We find a green lizard, which trades with this Rabble Master really nicely. We draw a Master of Death, we slam for 4. And then Urza's Saga could be very good. I imagine they play one of those with the new rulings. They make a token. The token can come through for 1, that's absolutely fine. The Rubber Man does not come in. Yeah. And now it's back to me. We take a draw step. We draw a Noxious Revival, which I do quite like. Going forwards. So I think I'm just going to combat them for 4 here. Or do I not combat them at all? I'm going to combat them for 4. And I might actually just activate this Bazaar anyway. I'm still interested in Wastelands and stuff. A Bazaar of Baghdad. Yeah, I'm interested in that. No reason not to flick now, I don't think. Lizard Master, that's cool. Okay. The two red lizards could be pretty big if they moon us. This Rabble Master, I imagine, could get annoying, but they have to attack, so they're not even good at blocking, is the thing, right? I'll go to 14, then I'll go to 12 from my Masters. Maybe I could have flicked a Bazaar there first, but this will give me a little bit more info, I guess. Force Negation's a very interesting card, actually. Let's activate Bazaar of Baghdad, then. Vengevine Powder Master, I think that'll do for now. And then we can get him for 5. I said I'd look after these guys. Well, I'm not blocking for 3 damage, am I? So I may as well just send like this. So this is 5 damage into 5 damage. And if they moon us, then it gets even bigger. They do eat a lizard, that's fine. I'm quite happy sitting on my negation. And we've got an end step activation if we want it. Opponent's at 5 life. Do I counter a Blood Moon on the way down? That's a question. I don't think I do. Fury would be pretty tough at this point, though. I don't have a Fury either. Okay. No blocks. I'll take the 3 this turn. And they don't have anything, so I'll activate end step. And I will hold the Fury, I think. The Fury's really good. So yes here. Yes here. Draw step. Chalice of the Void I don't care about. Activate. Fury. And then we'll just flip for lizards in a second. So, say done. They could have a Pyro K here, which would be upsetting. We'll just flip this for lizards. We miss. I'm going to attack everything. And they die. Okay. They were dead the whole time. Mono red. I think I want the Furies in. I think I want the snapbacks in. Somewhat interested in Mind Breaks. Somewhat interested in these Cradles. I think the Mind Breaks are interesting, but maybe not worth. The Poxwalker can go. The Noxious can go. The Chalice can go on the draw. The Misstep might actually just be bad. I imagine they've got a Saga package, that's the thing. So like Needles and stuff. Maybe I can cut a land or two. Wasteland. And then one red lizard. So I've already got a Noxious, right? We'll try this out. This might be quite suspicious. But like the Mind Breaks on the draw seem really good, right? And the Furies against whatever they push through seem really good. The Vigors will clear up Blood Moons. And the reason I'm kind of comfortable cutting Noxious and Wasteland is I assume they've got a bunch of mountains, so my wastelands aren't as good. They're going to turn my wastelands into mountains, and my mountains aren't as good. And then Noxious, because they're not stripping my bazaars, Noxious isn't as good. So that's the logic. Okay, then game 2 against Mono Red. We're going to powder this hand. We're going to mulligan. And we're going to keep. And this is a banger. I'm going to bottom a Bazaar of Baghdad. Which is odd, but can kill. There's the mountain. Look, we can kill Magus. We can kill Blood Moon. We've got a Bazaar. Opponent doesn't want cards in hand, they want them all gone. The Broadside Bombardiers. Wowza. Graph Digger's Cage. Do I care? I don't think so. I'm more scared of this mountain producing a needle. And then we can just go Bazaar Go, right? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Another Bazaar of Baghdad. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Whatever they play, we can kill in one way or another. Mox Ruby's powerful. And they play Magus of the Moon, which will kill next turn. I'm going to activate my Bazaar of Baghdad in response. I do hit Force of Will. Do I want to use my Force of Will now? Not really. Not really at all. We'll pick up these 2 guys. We'll kill Squee. We'll kill Magus. And now we'll activate this Bazaar of Baghdad because then we get a Hollow One and maybe even a Vengevine into play. No Vengevine. Okay, the Bazaar can go. I do want to hold that Vigor for a while. Am I really going Bazaar? And that way, this Bazaar Baghdad in play is my one Bazaar Baghdad for the match. I think so. I think that's the line. Yeah, okay, fine. That's a hollow one. You got 2 cards. I get my master back next turn, so I'm more incentivized to pitch my trap, right, than my force of will. Vandal Blast, sure, man. Okay. So I've got no Bazaars left in my deck. Well, there's 40 cards between me and my final Bazaar. I can pick up this Master of Death and just hold. Because we can counter anything, flip the Bazaar on their end step or in response to something scary. This Vigor can kill Chrome Mox Ruby and that will just end the game. And in the meantime, we can just flip this guy end step a bunch. Discarding Master of Death. Force of Negation, Vengevine. Or maybe the Mindbreak Trap should have gone actually, because they're not triple spelling anymore, right? Mindbreak Trap is useless. They're so down on cards that there's no point in us having a trap. Okay, so I top deck the Vengevine so I can kill the 2 things, the lands. We are incredibly exposed to a Wasteland here, but I just don't think they play it. That's the thing. Misstep will beat up on a Pyroblast. On their end step, we can pitch Mindbreak Trap and Master of Death and try and get some lizards going. They still have a Grafdigger's Cage in play, which turns off the Vengevine that I discarded earlier. I forgot about it. I'm not going to lie to you. So Mindbreak Trap, Master of Death, Mindbreak Trap. Snapback will help us get into cards, get into mana later. Well, not mana, get out of mana, I guess, against the future Mages of the Moon. Wasteland, I think, is discardable, so I'm going to look for lizards and hollow ones. Lizard. Wasteland Master. Yeah, I think Lizard Wasteland Master. And we'll hold the Noxious for the future. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, but it's missing land drops. There's a chance they just have a bunch of Pyroblasts, right? And there'll be a fight that they really want to take later. Another Lizard is interesting to me. We'll just discard the cards that want to be discarded. I think we're at that stage in the game where we don't have to make any difficult choices now. It's just activate every turn, put some power into play, and attack them, and let that damage rack up. So we're at 15 and we're taking 2 a turn. They're at 19 taking 2 a turn. But the likelihood of them resolving another spell is quite low. And even when they do resolve another spell, I'm still going to be able to Noxious my way back onto Vigor or Fury, depending on what I need to do. With these Masters, I'm probably just going to hold them, I think. Do I need to do much else? I mean, I do need to race the Masters at some point. Fury's a nice draw. Master. Negation? Oh no, Trap. Oh no, I've got to discard one of these on end step. That's a shame. I think I'll just discard the Negation. And then hold this Vigor. Yeah, I think I'll just discard Negation. I've got loads of cards. I've got a Fury. I can Vigor this cage, but we're going to let them play another, like, trap or something first. Blood Moon. There we go, that looks good. Do I need more cards? Or do I want to attack them for 3? I could do 4 a turn for a while. That sounds good. That's an actual clock at that point, isn't it? So I won't pick up the Masters this turn, if that's the case. So Serum Powder's a wonderful discard. I think we'll attack them for 4. Just catch up a bit, and then see what they do, and then consider Vigor when we want to. And I'll kill this Blood Moon at some point. They play a Fury. Okay. Fury pitching Pyroblast. My creatures die. And that's fine, because we're going to Vigor these 2 things, and then they're going to be sat there with 2 mountains, and we won't have a mountain at any point after that. So that happens. They've not got anything else, so now I will Vigor, because I now need to actually do something with myself that's not just attack for 4 each turn. This will unlock space in my hand as well for the 2 Masters to come back. My Bazaar of Baghdad back online. I've got 2 Master of Death. I'd love a Squee at some point, to be honest with you. It's a Noxious Revival. I think I might just Noxious a hollow one. So we'll activate the Bazaar now. We hit a Vengevine. Do I hold hollow one then? Maybe that's true. Maybe I do hold hollow one. I've got 2 bits of interaction. I can just kill them with hollow one. There's 3 Vengevines in my bin, right? Oh, no, 2 Vengevines. So maybe that's a bit loose. But my opponent is just doing so little. The deck does so little. Chrome Mox is fine. No response. Pitches another Pyroblast. Plays and makes the moon. Gets Force of Will. Pitching Snapback. Pick up 2 Masters. And this game has been a delight to play, don't get me wrong. There's a Lizard. There's the vines, there's the game, there's the match. Very nice. Trigger. They can't come back from this, I don't think. We've got double Force of Will. They've got 1 card, they're dead on board. They play a Tabernacle, I can kill them in 15 more turns time when I find double spell again. Bolt Fire Blast would be a very funny way to end this game. And we win. I won't pick these up now. Well, no, I should pick 1 up, shouldn't I? And in we go. Okay, that was a nice league. 4-1 with Squee. So versus my last deck, I think it was -1 Pox, +1 Mind Break. Is what I did differently. And then these were Pyro Ks, and I had 4 Furies in the board. Apparently, if you just make that swap, come down a Mind Break trap in the main, put 1 single Poxwalkers in, and that Poxwalkers just does not show up for you, then it completely changes your whole day out from not doing very well to actually quite a reasonable turnout for us. We never played against Dredge, so we never got to, live or die by our Tormod's Crypt selection. The Furies were great in a lot of matchups, weren't they? So that was cool. Snapback I always loved playing. And then the Mindbreak traps came in quite frequently as well. So that was a very nice, well-rounded Squee League. We got to do all the things. We were quite aggressive in some matchups, and we were quite slow and patient in a few others. We've got sort of unlucky as well in the defeat where we mulliganed to 3 twice, I think. So 3 or 4, which is not where we want to be. Like 5 is about as low as you can ever realistically go with this deck, especially in this like more MH3 era, I guess, where you're just so under pressure the whole time. When this deck was really good, when it was like unlucky monkey, like on 4-color control, dual shops and mono white was like the meta game plus us on Squee, then your lands weren't under threat. This was pre-wasteland technology other than mono white. But we had 4 Furies and a bunch of Pirate K's at that point, and it was like the mono white deck was really bad at that point as well. It was just the initiative threats and Archon. It wasn't too punishing. And that was before they had Anointed Peacekeeper in their decks in high quantity. So the meta has adapted for nonsense bizarre, but that was still a very good showing. And congrats to DingusKhan on their top 8, and we will see you again in the future. Bye.